Half the fun of being a DIY shop is experimenting and trying things. So if you remember on our last episode on this car, we made a template for the door panel. We're going to take this template and transpose it onto that plywood and see if we can get it on the car to see if it contours properly. This might be an epic fail. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. So let's get this apart and let's start that process. Got to remember how this goes together. Let's see, that's part of the panel itself, so that needs to come off with the panel, which means that probably all we got to do is pick this up like so. There we go. Woohoo! Well, that wasn't so hard, was it? I always say if something works, is it really wrong? Of course, as long as it's not immoral, unethical, or illegal. Okay, so there's our door panel. There's that. Now we got to determine, oh, this is perfect. Look at that, look at that. Cool. Now I don't think we're going to be able to get two out of this, but we might be able to get one and a piece for the rear, which I haven't even looked at yet. But we're really close to the proper size here, so this is rather exciting. Trying to minimize our waste. I don't think would be any better if we go this way. No, we're going to waste more that way than this way, but our width is really close, so that's cool. Okay, so let's trace this out, see where we land. I admit that sometimes I get too wrapped up in the work and don't take enough time to enjoy the coffee. I hope you enjoy the coffee also, because, you know, sitting out here in the shop, standing out here in the shop, having some time together, looking at the project, making some plans, and drinking a really good cup of coffee. My wife bought this amazing dark roast for me when she was in Alaska a few weeks ago. I'm just going to savor this moment for just a couple minutes, and then we'll get back into this. Oh man, that's good stuff. Oh, I forgot how good, real good dark roast coffee is. So I took my escutcheons and I went around the hole just so I know my maximum size. And of course we know that we could be off, so we're not going to go near that big. But I wanted to have an idea of the framework in which that this is going to function. So I want to put these holes in there so I can take this over to the car and see if this is even remotely going to work. We need to sand down the edges and all that stuff, but I want to get all of my holes done first. Then the next thing after that is we have to figure out how we're going to put the clips in that hold this door panel to the car itself, and that's going to be a big challenge. I have some ideas about that, but you know, we've got to take this one step at a time and see if this panel is even going to fit. It's a little warped. We can take care of that. That's no big deal. This is the back side, so I'm not that worried about it because it's supported across the top and it's attached across the bottom. There's other ways we can deal with that as well. We can warp it differently, or again, I'm not worried about that. This is all proof of concept. Even if this isn't the piece we use, we may have just created a permanent template for these door panels. So, you know, you got to look at things in perspective. I'm going to go put my escutcheon back and we'll get these holes drilled. I wished I had a hole saw that was a little bigger, but we can use this one to get us going. And then then we can just open it up with a rasp or something else. We can open it up raspy. Real raspy. It's actually not too bad. See how she works. This may be a total flop. It may not. We don't know. Let's find our, there it is. What do we do? Okay, there we are. Good. You know what? With a little tweak and a little tune, that may not be too bad. We actually line pretty good down through here. Boy, I tell you, I'm tempted to just run screws through to hold this on. We do need to open this hole up here a little more. So we're going to trace that one with a marker, because this needs to be down like this more. We need like that, okay? So you can see that. I'm going to circle around this because this is exactly where it's going to line up. So again, we're going to go around our escutcheon, circle that, so we know where we can go. Yeah, we're close to the top, so we've got plenty of room that we can oblong this down here. That one actually is right on the money, so I don't think that's a problem. This one kind of causes a problem because of where that inner thing is that causes the door to hang. So let's get this opened up here with a saber saw, and then we'll also put the handle on wherever those holes are. Somewhere in here. Don't remember, but we'll find them, and then we can attach the door handle and the inner hanger, and that will allow us to fit this properly. That will also hold this in like this better. So that's going to make a huge difference. Just leaving this on the car attached like that is going to make a big difference in the long run. Let's find out how accurate we are. Okay, so that's got to go there. This has got to go up in here, push it up high, and then down. Holy crap, it's like we knew what we were doing. Our hole is off over there, but that's because our panel is crooked. Our panel is now straight. I love it. I love it. Will our escutcheons fit? They do. They cover the hole nicely. We may need to do a little work there, but not much. It fits pretty decent. And of course, that one will fit even decenter. There's some nibbles on the back of here we'll have to deal with, but that's just a matter of maybe cutting a slot in the panel. So, I'm happy. Very happy. Our bracket is hanging there. It could be tighter, like that, but you know, that's part of what these are out here are for. So what I need to do now is determine where these holes are. So I'm going to put a little mark on the car and a mark on the board like that. Okay, so that one's pretty accurate, I think. Another one here. Looks like our panel is that way a little bit. It is, I can see that. Definitely. Doritos. Okay, there we go. Much better. So let's put another one here. And another one down here. There's another one right below that. So we got to figure out where we're going to put the slots or the holes in that to pull all that in. And we're going to do the same thing up here. And there's some across the bottom also, but I'm not going to worry about that yet. I got ideas about that. So let's get my big fat head in here. Right there. Okay. There's one up here somewhere. Another one here. Another one here. I'm sorry you can't see. Not much I can do to show you. Okay, that's good. So, first I got to find some door clips, which I should have a bunch of those. Challenges. Probably we just need to take one. You know, it would be simple enough to just go and run screws in there, but I really don't want to do that. I also need to figure out how to attach it in the middle better because it's really loose there because of the way that bracket is. I got an idea about that. That's probably the first thing we should do is put one more screw in the panel wherever that bracket goes in here so that the top of the bracket stays tight here to the wood. That would help hold this in tighter, because right now it's really out. Do you see what I mean? So let's get that done. That's a engineering change on my part. Well, it went in there nice. Now it doesn't want to come out. Oh, it'll come out. There we go. Okay. It's almost like a little clip thing that you just got to kind of loosen. So, yeah, I think if we put one more screw up here, I'll put it through from the other side. That will hold that. So I ran a screw through from the other side here, and then I cut it off with a cutoff wheel. We'll probably have to do that again ultimately. I may grind that head down a little bit too, but that's okay. That's going to be behind the upholstery, so I don't know that it's going to be a big deal. There's one more screw that has to go through there from the other side as well. So, but again, none of that's a big deal, but at least I got it now. So let's go try hanging this and see how it works. Push it in, push it down. It holds it in beautifully. Slide it back into position. Almost too far back. We're crooked. Up here, like so. But otherwise, I think we're pretty good. We're a little too far back on the bottom now. There we go. Okay. We may need to trim a little of this, but that's fine. We've got some work to do up here because there's some extra stuff glued on. But look at how that holds that in now. That's working really good. I like that. So now our escutcheon will go on there. I don't want to put those on yet. I don't want to cut the slots out for those yet. But yeah. Feels good. Now, I suppose the next thing we need to do is a little bit of cleanup work, because there's like this piece of wood that's glued on here. This is actually a train board from somebody's model train set that they were getting rid of, and Chris grabbed the wood from it. But yeah, we're good. I'm not disappointed with that at all. Let's see if it closes okay. The door feels so different. Closes beautifully. Catches a little bit there. That's not surprised because it's got to be trimmed out just a little bit in here. Let's mark that up while we're at it if I got my marker. Not that I'm ready to do that yet, but it needs to be trimmed out in here just a nova from about there up. Okay, so we approximate where that is. Now, the issue with this is always going to be, needs to go up just a nova. Okay, so the issue is, how do we create these slots here that those trim clips go in? So I've got to see what trim clips I have and decide what I'm using here. I don't want to buy any. I've got drawers and drawers full, so I just got to see if I have enough. I probably don't have enough to do the whole car, but one step at a time. Yeah, the back ones will be a lot easier because they don't clip on like this, but these have to pop on and off. So I found a handful of clips, and I promptly don't remember where I put them. But anyway, I got 2 of them in here now. I got 2 more slots here, and then I know my dimension now to put the ones down here. So I'll get those in. I'm not going to do the ones across the bottom yet. I've got a different idea what I'm going to do down here. But I think this is going to work pretty good. So let's get these finished up. What I'm doing is just drilling 2 holes to create an oblong, and then cleaning it up, of course, and putting those clips in there like that. So that should work pretty good, I think. Hopefully, but I got to find what I did with them. I had a whole fistful of them, and I set them down someplace and probably forgot where. There you go. That's typical for me. I've got a great memory. It's only about 10 seconds long. And the job is good now because we're bleeding all over. I slipped with the drill bit, so it's got to work now because we're painting it all red. Woohoo! All right, I got to get some shop towel and some black tape. All better. All right, let's go see how this is going to work. Oh, I want to take this stuff off the edge of this first, though, so I'll get a knife and cut that off. We're going to sand this down a little bit soon, but right now I just want to get that roughed in a little bit on that edge. Actually, I'll use a grinder on that, make a real quick work of it. There we go. There we go. Well, there we go. I already lost 2 clips. How the heck did I do that? I don't know. Okay, it looks pretty good. I still can't find this clip. It popped out here somewhere, but I got these 2 in. This is in over here, but we got a bow in the door here. So I got to figure that out. I'm sure it's because of this wood. There's a couple ways I can deal with that, I guess. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think we're in here. That's why. Okay, that's why. This popped out. Yep, that's what it is. All right, so I need to get this back in. This is not attached. So that's why this is sucking out. That makes sense. All right, let's fix that. All right, there we go. The issue was 2 things. This bracket up in here was bent a little bit too far this way, so I straightened it down so it pulls in better. And then these holes are off just the Nova here. So I don't have all the clips in there yet. One of them I ended up damaging. But we proved the concept anyway. So I've got some tweaking and tuning to do. But for the most part, this isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. Cool. So let's see my escutcheon go on here. Like so. See, this is the window crank. I don't remember which is which. Yep, that's the door latch. Okay, so that one goes there. This is the window crank. There. So we need to pull that in a little bit there. Oh, that's because we're missing the clip here. Okay, let's get that clip in. I got a good one here, so we should be able to do it. Did not mean to pop that out, but it's the nature of the beast. It's what happens when you unleash the beast. Did not mean to pop that up like that. It's just, you know, when you're fabricating something like this, it's a challenge. Okay, yeah, this hole is way off. That's the problem. The whole thing needs to go down just a little teeny bit more. That's just a matter of adjusting these slots so that allows these to go down just a little bit. But we're pretty good. Yes, we have a little bit of imperfection down here. I'm not worried about that. Fabric will cover that. Plus, I can sand the bottom a little straighter. Overall, I think we're not bad. So let me grab a piece of upholstery fabric and hold it up there to get a feel for what it's going to look like. It's going to look splendiferous, isn't it? Yeah, I really like that. And this matches the seat pretty well, but it's enough different to give it a little contrast. But I think overall, that's going to be pretty good. I'm not against if I have to put a strip across here with some screws in it to help hold everything in place. That's kind of the original design. I'm also looking at the other door where this is, and there's room if I needed to put a screw through here. In fact, I could put one through the handle in here. That would be just ideal. That would be the cat's meow. I could put one through there that would help hold all of this to the car really nice and tight. So we have options. Yeah, I didn't get a pin on that, and I don't want to put a pin on that yet because I think I'm going to go one step further maybe. Let's see what I got. Well, there we go. I just wanted to get that writing off of there. Maybe we should just stain it and call it good. I know I got a little whoop down here. I'm not worried about that. Like I said, it's things done imperfectly still can look good. So by the time we get some upholstery material on that and so forth, I think we're going to look pretty all right. I may run a screw in here, like I said, that will help hold that, but it's already complying. And I think just leaving this backing panel on here for a while in the humidity, it's going to take on the form that I want. So I think that's pretty good. Looks like the panel's that way just a little bit for some reason. I don't know why. We can knock that back. I didn't realize that. But again, by the time you put some upholstery on there, my guess is this board is just a little on the big side anyway. So we're good. Yeah, I'm missing one of my clips over here. I don't know what happened there, so we got to get that in there. Oh, it's always something, but we're getting there. Progress. I'm liking the way that door sounds now, too. It's nice. It's got a lot more weight to it. Sounds a lot more solid. Let's try it on the inside. Yeah, I like it. Feels good to be able to put my arm on it. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. I can't get out of the car. Help me. There we go. Oh, another step forward on that. I want to get this worked out perfectly. Not perfectly, but worked out completely before I tackle this one. That one is just the opposite. So what's on the inside of that door panel will be on the outside of this one. So I just want to work out a little more of the bugs and so forth, but I want to let that wood kind of warp for a couple of weeks in this humidity and just kind of take on its shape and see what things look like down the road. I know my slots are off a little bit here and there for the clips. I'm still thinking I may put some screws in just to be safe. It's just what's going to look tasteful and look good. So we'll see. I'm not sure yet, but I've got ideas on other things we can do that will really improve the functionality and the look as well. So actually, it looks like to me, I'm guessing the door panel didn't go down much below here on this car anyway. So I probably have that door panel too long. I didn't pay attention to that, but that kind of makes some sense. That doesn't mean that I can't or I won't put it where it is. I just need to think about that because that's actually where the rocker panel here hits the door. So that may be why that door's binding a little bit. I don't know. I think that's an exciting step on Fat Fanny here. Need to get that transmission fixed at some point, but I'm just having fun. And I want to emphasize that it's easy to dive into something and think, oh, I'm going to get it all done. I'm going to make the template. I'm going to make the panel. I'm going to get it upholstered. I'm going to get it all done at once. I purposely like to take my time on stuff like this, come back away from it, come back to it, get some perspective, try something, get away from it, come back to it. I can see things I want to change. I'm going to shorten that panel up just a little bit. I'm really thinking about making a strip that goes across in some way that'll have screws down about like this, like the factory had anyway, even though the factory probably didn't have screws. I'm thinking that'll be another way to help attach this panel more rigidly to the door and just make it a good fit. But I like to do things like this and just get away from it, then come back and look at it with fresh perspective, because often I'll go, what was I thinking when I did that? Okay. So that's part of the process here at My Car Shop, is just not only sharing the work that I do, but sharing my thought processes behind it. Why I don't just march in with boots and spurs and clomp around and get something done, and then 2 months later go, oh, I shouldn't have done that because I didn't think about this. So we have all the time in the world. We have plenty of projects to work on. This was the bite I wanted to take today. I wanted to get some hands-on stuff done after doing a lot of machine shop work. So I appreciate you being here. Drop your comments down there. I'd appreciate hearing from you. And one more thing, don't forget, because it's important. Rah!